Here we are on live now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Happy morning, sir.
Yes, yeah. Happy morning to all our beloved and venerable participants. Am I
Thanks for
audible,
joining
sir?
us.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Good morning. You are audible.
Very good, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Dr. Saravanan, please introduce me to this forum.
1 minute, sir.
Then,
Formally.
yeah, yes.
Good morning, everybody. It gives me immense pleasure in. Good morning, everybody. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming you all for this 178th international virtual, that is virtual program. And again, this is our 23rd international virtual seminar edition. Consecutively for the 23rd week, we are running this international virtual seminar with all your support and cooperation. It gives me immense pleasure in extending a hearty welcome to each and every one of you on this wonderful morning. And today we have amidst us Professor Chandrasekhar sir, head of the Department of English, head of the
Yeah.
English at Sir C.R. Reddy Autonomous College, Eluru, Andhra Pradesh, who was graciously consented to be today's first presenter of the day. And Sir has agreed to do a presentation on precisely and context, how to improve the quality of teaching. This is very pertinent and meets our topic, sir. And so very uh, happy and very much delighted to have you amidst us. And Sar has got very very interesting profile to share with us, and especially uh, he has 2 plus 2.5 plus decades of teaching experience to his credit, and he has done his bachelor's degree from Acharya Nagarjuna University, Guntur, and his post graduation from Osmania University, Hyderabad. And yes, Sar has also has done his philosophy from the University of MA Philosophy and Masters in Philosophy from the University of Hyderabad. So he has been teaching and contributing to this community of teaching and learning from since 1996 July. And hearty welcome to you, sir. And thank you so much for gracing this occasion. Thank you for your valuable time and again your August present. Over to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Dr. Saravanan. It's a great pleasure to be on this forum. And yesterday, I followed the lectures of Dr. Rati Madam and Dr. Pavitra. Both were very, very finely structured to the needs of our young generation. The two very illumined minds. So the presentation, I was very happy. I could listen to them completely, though I could not participate yesterday in the discussion or question answer session. Uh, So where Dr. Rati and Dr. Pavitra left us yesterday, in between their two presentations, I will present my one pretext, text and context, how to improve the quality of teaching or quality of education, which is very much relevant the whole world over today. And actually, yesterday I wanted to compose two poems on the respect to present speakers, but I could not find time. I will do it today or tomorrow because I was so enchanted by their brilliance and the way have been organizing and all that. So, with these few words, and 25 years back, where I left my academic research to for breadwinning, I had to join a college. So from there I will pick up. In 1994, I attended an interview conducted by Indian Council of Philosophical Research in Delhi, conducted by Professor Bhavan Chandel, Professor D.P. Chattopadhyay, and others. I was selected. I could not continue research because of some family obligations. And so from then onwards, every classroom, teaching, every day, every hour has been a great learning experience, investigating experience, research, and pouring forth and sharing the ideas from time to time with the illumined minds of the youngsters, at least 5% or 10% of them in the class, like that, sir. So, with these initial remarks, I will and come to the point. Nobody can teach another. You can only facilitate. This is the standard dictum that we all know about from the days of Socrates to the days of Swami Vivekananda. In his inspired talks delivered to very few enlightened students, he also mentioned this very, very often, very frequently. What does this actually mean? Because between the teacher and the taught, what is it that takes place? Is it mere oral presentation or body language or what we write on the board, or we just playing with the language, words, the thoughts behind words, and what else is there? It is uh, the personality of the teacher, the context of his experience, the context of his research, the context of his study, and the context of the students. The teacher, we often hear, the teacher enters the class with the pretext of teaching the text, but he takes the students to the context of life every time. I hear often these words, especially from Professor Murali Krishna from Andhra University. He used to dwell on these things a lot and have been ruminating on them. So, what is it that's happening between the teacher and the taught? Is the teacher able to go to the mind and heart of the student? Are their minds fused, come together to understand the given text, to draw upon the vast experiences of the writer of the text or the poet behind the poem? Octavio Paz, the Canadian Nobel laureate and former ambassador to India, says in one of his works, the poet is the poem. The poet is the poem. From the context of the poet, the poem emerges, or any writing as such, the prose or drama or whatever. So the poem necessarily emanates from the poet's context of life, his experiences, his interactions with his own mind, with his own feelings or emotions. Therefore, the poet and the poem are but one, they are not two. Likewise, the text and the writer of the text, and it is the context. How can they be separated? They cannot be separated. They are but one. But are we able to see the connection so closely that our students, the co-learners, because all teachers are learners. As Richard Bach says, we are all learners, teachers, and doers. So, we are all, the teacher is a lifelong learner. Sri Ramakrishna says, as long as I live, so long do I learn. What a profound statement that influenced me a lot. And I've been trying to understand and make sense of those great teachings in the classroom from time to time. I will translate one statement by a great Telugu saintly figure, Potuluri Veera Brahmendra Swami. What he says about the teacher and the student. గురువు శిష్యులు ఒక్కటాయను దీని గురుతో తెలియరన్నా. The teacher and the student are but one. They have become one in the act of learning, in the act of receiving knowledge. Not a formal physical kind of receiving, just as we receive a gift from one person to another, or handing over gift from the hands of the donor to the receptor. But in the mind, what happens? The knowledge is received, understood, interpreted, thought about, reflected upon, and then the matter gets filtered to the level of the mind of the listener, the receiver, the student, or the learner, and then comes out as his performance in the exam or in life, in the interviews or in the group discussions, wherever he wants to excel, wherever he presents a paper, in a seminar or in a training program. In the present circumstances, all companies conduct training classes for their employees. So, the teacher and the taught have become one. They are no more separate, no more different. When their minds are fused in the act of trying to learn something with utmost seriousness, faithfulness to the subject that he is learning. He need not necessarily be faithful in a traditional sense of the term to the teacher, but in the sense of his dedication to the knowledge that he wants to gain, the understanding that he wants to get. So for that, he has to follow his own swadharma. Is a duty to enlighten himself by the words of his teacher, who is also a collaborator, a facilitator. So, when fusion of mind thought takes place, transfusion of knowledge takes place, transfusion of ideas, understanding, information, whatever the teacher wants to communicate, that becomes intelligible, perfectly understandable to the learner. This is why in communication, communication comes from the word communion. Again, communion comes from union. What is the union? Is union is nothing but union of minds, union of two different identities, two different personalities, joined together in the classroom to understand the text together. As the teacher understands, so does the student must try to understand how to take the student along with the teacher into the journey of trying to understand, unravel the meaning behind the words of the written text of the particular author, particular poem, the particular poet. So here, and I must submit to the our esteemed participants, learned and scholarly uh, friends and co-learners here, that education, we all know, comes from the Latin root e docere. E docere. E always stands for external, something extra, as in exit, like that. Exit. So, e docere, that means to bring forth, to bring out, to lead out. So, what is inside the student, the talent, the capacity, the abilities of the students are by the interaction with their teacher in the context of the classroom to actual the actual performance level of the student by dedication, by his knowledge and awareness of the value of what he is trying to learn, what he is trying to, how he is going to make use of what he is learning in the class. So, without knowing the value of what he is learning, it cannot apply his mind to the extent needed, and otherwise, the what that is presenting in the classroom remains out of the purview, the horizon of grasping level of the student. So, how to make student participation more importantly his active involvement, how to take even passive listeners into confidence, how to deliver something substantial to the student. So we all use different methods of teaching as taught in different methodologies of teaching. Instructional, we don't follow the instructional method anymore, didactic, instructional, because those days were gone and they are mostly irrelevant. Maybe in a few pockets of private learning, they may be possible. So we now follow interactional, bilingual, or multilingual a mode of communication where the teacher does not boss over the students. He feels and makes the students also feel that he is a co-learner, collaborator, facilitator, guide, friend, philosopher, not is a part of the group of learners in the class. He is not a separate entity, maybe senior by experience, by qualification, by age. He may be much older than his group of learners, but it does not mean that he is a boss in the class. He may be one of the learners. He is just gently leading them to catch the meaning of the text and both rejoice by participating in the process of unveiling the hidden meanings of the writer's point of view. So far I have presented certain of my viewpoints, and now it is open for discussion, participation, and I humbly submit that I'm a lifelong learner. I may not be what we call formally, academically, uh, research oriented, but knowledge or learning is a continuous, lifelong process. Whether you are in the teaching or outside the teaching field, or inside the campuses or outside the campuses, life itself, nature itself is the greatest textbook to be studied from minute to minute, from moment to moment. And one who is very intelligently aware of learning process, we are constant learners along with the students. That's one wonderful thing. With Richard Bach also says, in that sense, we're all learners, teachers, and doers. So these are the basic ideas, and we will, from now onwards, we will, as the time permits, we will follow the interactional method. I welcome all our esteemed participants, beloved participants, weird participants to the discussion. Dr. Saravanan.
Sir, very, very interesting.
G, please. I humbly request you to pardon me if I sound bombastic or please pardon me. Yes, yes, please.
You're doing, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
In fact, we would like to know this kind of from people like you and experienced people like you, especially.
G. Professor Badapati Chandrasekhar, has he joined?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please enlighten me, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Please.
You are the one to enlighten us.
No,
today?
no, no, no. Please, out of humility, you are saying that. Out of
Sir,
humility.
sir, as your Shanti mantra says, Sahana
Hmm.
Bhavatu Sahanam Bhunaktu.
Hmm. Hmm.
Let's
Hmm.
learn together.
Oh,
What you said
wonderful.
anymore.
Wonderful. Hmm.
The teacher doesn't, our ancient teacher doesn't expect, our guru perhaps doesn't expect that he's going to teach something. He
Yes.
invites the disciple to come and sit before. Let's
Yes.
learn together.
Oh,
The process of
wonderful.
learning, as you have
Yes.
said, we
Hmm.
learn, we unlearn and relearn again.
Yes.
So I always remember the saying of my teacher who told me that always enter a class not to teach, but
Yes.
to learn something every day,
Yes. Yes.
because the students transform a way of thinking, perhaps sometimes the questions put by the students make us almost thrilled, and then they throw into confusion also in such a way that we haven't diverted our skills while preparing to those
Yes.
angles of the subject.
Yes. Yes.
That's why we should be always grateful to the students, and the students are our gods. I can say that. Of
Yes.
course, they may say that we are the gods, but that's why the
Hmm.
Santa Mantra says, let's learn together. Wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful speech, sir. Thank you very much.
And according
Thank
to
you.
Gandhiji, customers are the god. So our
Yes, yes,
customers
God.
are students, so students are our gods. That's what I should say.
Yes,
Good.
yes, sir,
Good.
right. That's what
Yes,
I
that's
say.
also right.
Because our knowledge is so very limited and we know only English, whereas our students are no, they are tech savvy, they know more than whatever we know. We know only one
Yes.
language. They know C, C++, Java, and again
Yes.
Python, and like this, know so many languages. Not only that, they are also see ranging from let's say pre-KG to PhD. We find that students are really especially this corona has taught us that students are more vibrant than the teachers, of course, because they are all the fast learners. They learn a lot of things, even better than the teachers. They learn. Of course, we have our own expertise in one area. That we have to equally know, recognize, and respect the learner's expertise also, because everybody is an asset.
Yes.
For everybody is an asset, and again, especially every human being is a really resource. Everybody is
Unique.
resourceful,
Uniquely resourceful.
uniquely resourceful, and every learner is unique, and their learning styles are also unique. We need to respect these learners, their expertise, and again, as well as their learning styles. Accordingly, no, we need to cater to the needs of the learners and their learning needs. That's how a teacher can become um, really a, uh, better learner, I would say, better learner, and better we are there, as our Chandrasekhar sir rightly pointed out, that we go to the classroom not to teach but to learn from the 60 minds or 50 or 40 whatever
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Chandrasekhar sir.
beautifully said.
Good morning. Good morning, madam.
Yeah, talking about this pretext, text, and context.
This
We people were tuned in to a system in which we stuck to the cardinal points.
Right, right.
The students, they know how to go a bit hither.
Yes,
In that attempt, they learn certain things. They may stray away, no doubt, there is always that risk, but at the same time, the intelligent and the meaningfully attempting students, they land up at certain places which even we cannot reach to. They
yes,
reach certain apps, they reach certain resources. So, if you allow them to ponder over these things, they really add to our knowledge. So, there is absolutely no doubt about it that our students, at times, they tend to be a teacher for us and a source of exposure to the new dimensions or new technological aspects of which we are unaware.
yes, yes,
So that much of space given to the student in a formal classroom or in an informal atmosphere.
yes,
Both the places it is very healthy.
yes.
So I'm in agreement with the discussion that is going on, that the students, they are good providers for us.
Definitely, definitely, sure. Madam, I would like to add a little bit here also that,
Yes, sir.
as you rightly said, as Professor Chandrasekhar from Vijayawada sir also said, and Dr. Sharavanan also made the remark that actually from next semester onwards, if the Board of Studies and Academic Council permit, we want to introduce a course in inner engineering in our college for the second semester or fourth semester students.
Yes, sir.
We want to have a course on inner engineering, taking a cue from Sadhguru, Sadhguru's book, because Velta, the well in Velta also speaks of wellness of mind, wellness of feelings, wellness of health, overall wellness of not only body, mind, and heart, but also wellness of our classroom situation, our college environment, our social environment, our ecological environment, everything. So this wellness, inner engineering also talks about the technology of well-being, the overall in a holistic sense. It's a wonderful idea that Sadhguru also presents and want to present it as one of the courses in, if possible, from this year, even semesters onwards. And I am very, very happy. I would like to invite Madam Sharma ji and Chandrasekhar, Saravanan ji, Pavitra, and so many galaxy of luminaries available on this platform to various webinars that we are going to conduct in future or next year. And so I would like to inform you that in future, whenever your time permits, and whenever we are in demand of speakers, so definitely I would like to invite and take your valuable suggestions to enlighten the
Yes, sir.
educational community, the student community, and the faculty. In a few days, in 2 3 days, we are going to submit the SSR for fourth cycle of accreditation to the NAC Bangalore. So these days we are busy with certain things, and I could not present these things in the formal in a manner, PowerPoint presentation and all that. So anyway, yesterday Professor Chandrasekhar from Vijayawada called me, and because he is my namesake, so don't get confused. Of course, get confused. And I felt delighted because yesterday was Bhishma Ekadasi. I think the Vishnu Sahasranama was born that day. And yesterday morning to evening, I was going to various temples, was taking my wife to various temples. So by evening, I came and was lying down for some time. Then the call came. And I was asked, why not participate like this? So then,
I'm sorry, Chandrasekhar Garu, if I have pressured you, because I would like. I know that you're a man with rich experience behind you. I think perhaps little time is required for you to deliver a lecture. I don't know if I have
yeah, Ji.
exercised a great pressure on you. I'm sorry if I have done so.
No, 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 not at all. Not at all. Pressure is a great pleasure, not a pressure
Oh,
at all.
wonderful.
And I could, in the evening, I could, while I was listening to Dr. Pavitra, Dr. Rathi, what an enlightening ideas and novelty through this platform organized by you, Dr. Saravanan ji, and assisted by so many other Professor Chandrasekhar Bodapati, and so many others luminaries are here, and very glad to tell you that. So, from individuality to transform into personality, there is one great saying by Professor Julian Xxiii, the biologist, noted biologist, delivering a lecture in Chicago University in 1954. He said, persons are individuals who transcend their organic individuality in conscious social participation. So individuals become persons only when they participate in collective activity of learning together, living together, sharing together. Because the UNESCO's titles for every 10 years they used to release a text title of international relevance and contemporary relevance. In 1960s, their title was Learning to Do, how to do one's work efficiently, perfectly, so that zero defect management takes place or total quality management, whatever we call it in post-graduation MBA studies. And so likewise, so individuals as individuals, they become egocentric. They will be in the world of their own egoism, shaped by their, conditioned by their social milieu, their family, their society, and their local culture, etc. So through teaching the various texts in literature, we take them to the vaster horizons so that his raw ego, unripe ego becomes ripe. And when his unripe ego becomes ripe, the individual becomes a person. So by collective participation, not only in the class, outside the class, in living life. So individuals as individuals, if they increase in knowledge, they will only be like billiard balls who collide with each other on the billiard table or on the table of life. So individuals have to grow into persons. Bertrand Russell beautifully says that if individuals are not transformed into persons, increase of knowledge will only be increase of sorrow. So we have to increase in not only increase our knowledge but also wisdom. The practical aspect of ripe egoism, where one is willing to share, live in harmony, peace, collaborative coexistence, using the resources available, social, financial, cultural, and from the ancients to down to us, all the resources available. So, if education gives us only more and more knowledge and less of wisdom, people are like billiard balls on the table who collide with each other. This is happening all the world, at the level of the countries, at the nations. And still, where are we? That's why Bertrand Russell's the George Bernard Shaw's quotation comes to my mind, which I would like to share. Man has learned to fly high in sky and swim in waters, but he has not learned how to walk upon earth. So, with these few words, I would like to invite other of our friends, colleagues, again for discussion as far as long as the time permits. Please, Dr. Saravanan, Dr. and others.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Wonderful quotation that you have given. That's what. And Vedatri Maharishi, that's what my Guruji also is a spiritual philosopher. He used to tell,
Ji.
to forego the idea of settling in Mars and the moon, but
Mm.
let us make this earth to a beautiful place by by making our life
Mm.
model to others, which means we need to learn to live on this planet Earth amicably, as you rightly pointed out, friendly and helping emotionally, and again, let's say financially, and again, let's say spiritually with each other. That is how we grow. It's all the Vasudeva Kudumbakam we talk about. So it is
Mm,
something
mm.
across the globe. And again, it is due to the natural calamities, we are all divided, and that because of the division, we are speaking different languages uh, because of the culture and the situation and the let's say this environment. Otherwise, no, everybody is something like one and the same, and we are all brothers and sisters. And again, that kind of no, the wisdom. Otherwise, the universal brotherhood that has to come in place. If that is there, there won't be any crisis. Otherwise, any kind of mismanagement of resources. Otherwise, fight and enmity and these things. Always there will be peace. And again, prosperity is there. Definitely it is there. Abundance is there. Everything is there abundantly.
Yes, yes,
This we have to realize the abundance which is there in the nature. And again, so all the resources will be equally shared. And again, people can lead a wonderful and a phenomenal life, provided we understand the nature. And again, we are also part of the nature. That is what our Buddhi says. We are nothing but
yeah.
information of the cosmos. That is
Mm, yeah, yes,
we have to see. And again, we are that is what the Puranas and Idikas says. And again, everything. So great people think alike. And again, it's really wonderful listening to you, sir. It's amazing experience for us. Thanks for enlightening us with your insightful words. And really, no, this teaching, and we are all learners. That's what
yes, yes,
no, that is an humbling experience by listening
yes,
to you. And
yeah.
again, speaking on the point that we go to the class to learn something. Uh,
Mm, yes,
that is how we remain a constant and consistent learners. And today's learners are tomorrow's leaders. And again,
mm,
take leaders in the classroom. That is
mm,
job of each and every teacher. And again, once we make the greatest leaders, then we become the ladders for the leaders. That is how we build the world, and we build the nation, we build the individuals, and we build the family and institutions. It's really amazing to have this kind of very, very inspiring and that is thought provoking session, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Ji, Dr. Sharavanan ji, so I am so much thankful for your wonderful comments. Before other friends join in the discussion, I would like to add one thing more that Swami Vivekananda once said, Dharma and Dharma alone is the life of India. When that goes, India will die in spite of its politics, in spite of its social reforms, and in spite of Kubera's wealth poured upon the head of every one of our children.
Well said, sir. Well said. And again,
So, yeah, yeah, ji.
this karma and dharma is both are like our two eyes, and
Yes,
our work. That is what our karma is something like something amazing that we need to.
yeah,
This karma yogis. That's what no Swami Vivekananda.
yeah,
We have to read between the lines of Swami,
yes,
and we have to be a real karma yogis when it comes to teaching and learning process. Amazing, sir. Wonderful thought, and you
ji.
to infuse the idea of karma and dharma. Dharma
Yeah,
is morality, duty, and and charity. These three things are together, put together, we call dharma. Otherwise, this let's say, yeah, morality together. That's what morality, duty, and charity. These three things put together, we call this dharma. And very, very amazing things there. And really,
I request our other friends to come and give their opinion or participate in the discussion because only by discussion, not by instruction, do we learn much.
yeah, we learn from the peers. Karnanidhi
Yes,
sir
yes, yes, yes.
on his face.
So we don't want to monologue, we only want dialogue. Yes.
through dialogues we can achieve anything and everything.
Yes, yes, yes. So,
Yes, sir.
This sir, kindly unmute yourself.
Uh,
Karuna,
sir,
unmute yourself.
సార్ మీరు మ్యూట్ చేసి ఉన్నారు సార్, మ్యూట్ చేసి ఉన్నారు సార్ మీ ఫోన్ సార్, మైక్రో.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Very nice and informative and constructive session, sir. One
thank
thing,
you.
sir, of stalwarts, we cannot able to express our feelings, sir. Like Malti Sharma, man, like your Chandrasekhar, sir, like you, sir, and Ijil, sir, and Sarvanand, sir. Very nice, sir. Very great experience, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, the whole credit goes to Karunanidhi Garu only, because you are the one, you brought our Chandrasekhar sir to our forum, and again through him we got this yet another Chandrasekhar sir to our forum.
Yes, yes, yes.
So Chandrasekhar one, sir, Chandrasekhar Junior, Senior, and that that he is the one who has spoken today, Chandrasekhar Senior, and I am JR.
Jagannath sir, you are muted. Jagannath sir, unmute yourself.
Anyway, sir, we need your blessing, sir.
Sure, definitely, sir, and always, because in course of time, I will come with some other titles to engage and share our knowledge. Because a little while ago, I started telling you about UNESCO's titles. Every 10 years, they release one paper title. And in 60s, they had the title Learning to Do. In 70s, they realized learning to be. Learning to do is not very, very complete education, because you have to be what you want to be. To be a happy, a happy human being, the student has to be a complete student. The citizen has to be a complete citizen. Otherwise, the world suffers because of so many problems, social, political, and cultural, religious, and other antagonisms. And we live in turmoil constantly from time to time. So, where the understanding is missing, true understanding, because even God, it said, God wants understanding, likes and loves understanding heart. If God wants understanding heart, how much more should it be in the case of all the citizens? We are the immortal children of the Lord, if we use that language. So in 70s, the UNESCO's title is Learning to Be, because happiness quotient, IQ, intelligent quotient, we have crossed that and come to EQ, emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman has written nearly more than 90 books on emotional intelligence. After that, in the 80s or so, the UNESCO has come out with a wonderful thing, this called Learning to Care. Let us care for the, what we say, the have-nots. Let us care for the have-nots. Thereby, we share our experiences, our resources, monetary and otherwise, with the have-nots, so that we become a complete, holistic human beings, complete human beings. There alone lies the true happiness in caring. And later, in the 90s or so, they have come out with another title, Learning to Share. Learning to share. So, share what all you have to the extent possible with the other human beings. Whatever it is, knowledge or time or resources or monetary resources or ideas, etc. Don't keep themselves to yourself alone. Then, like that. So, these are the titles which indicate the progress of inner transformation of the policy makers. They are transformed to think in different ways, to come out with relevant ideas and publications from time to time to enlighten ourselves for a better world, livable world. It should be livable socially, politically, even religiously, social order or political order or cosmic order, a rhythm. What is said in the scriptures? There must be a harmonious order at the individual level, in one's own body, mind, and mind complex, in the family, in the society, the nation, and the world. So, to quote from Dr. Abdul Kalam, who also quoted this in the European Union talk, when there is righteousness in the human heart, goodness prevails. When there is goodness, there will be discipline in the family. When there is discipline in the family, social order becomes peaceful. When one nation is peaceful in its coexistence with others, it leads to slowly world peace, world order, healthy world order, where harmony prevails, peace prevails, better coexistence and cooperation, sharing and caring for the world order. So these are the final remarks. Please, I would like to welcome our esteemed participants to give their opinions, and it will only add to my humility to learn further and further. I would like to enlighten myself by your opinions.
Beautifully
Please.
said. Beautifully said about this Abdul Kalam's quote. Beautifully, that is when righteousness is there, and that leads to exactly it leads to goodness, and in turn it leads to discipline in the family, and again one discipline in the family results in the discipline in the family as well as this world, especially a peaceful nation. One peaceful nation will make the world order. That is peace and prosperity. Definitely, it is there by not only by doing and caring and sharing. Beautifully, today we feel. I feel yes. The whole Velta family feels very much indebted to you for these words, and it's by providence, I should say, by providence and divine order we have got to Professor Chandrasekhar sir, and thanks for the lead sir. Where Bodapatti Chandrasekhar sir is amazing, and equally amazing is our Karnanidhi sir. This is something like a chain reaction, I should say, a ripple effect. That's what I should see in Velta Forum. Thank you so much, sir. Wonderful listening to you. And again, the floor is open for discussion. We have time to go. Yeah, so please, the other members can contribute your viewpoints for discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. They are needed, yes. Yes.
Sir, Edil sir, you are muted, sir. You are muted, please. Please unmute yourself and speak, sir, again. Sir, again, still you are muted. Still you are muted. Edil sir, your mic is no off. Turned off, please. Turn on your mic and speak, sir. Multi ma'am, we would like to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please, madam.
Yes, sir. Uh, Actually, I have been following sir's speech from the beginning, and I was in agreement with the point and the discussion that followed with Bodapati sir. One thing, sir, I would like to add that many of us who have a history of having something left out, either as students or as teachers. Take, for example, in your case, that you had to stop your research midway for some reasons. The urge for academics remains as it is. And as and when we get an opportunity, we take that opportunity and we move ahead right from the place where we had left. So, if we talk about the new dimensions that we are getting from the students, this is one more thing that if we explore what is it that I missed in my time, for whatever reasons, let us not go into that direction. Uh, how can I compensate that loss? So that is also a very good way of growing along with the students.
Yes, yes.
Because now neither is anybody interested in knowing the history of our losses, nor are we interested in telling, at least except that when it comes into context. But one positive thing is that we can get along with the students and take advantage and then compensate for the loss that we have undergone. So this is one thing we can do. Why should we age up as spent out people? We can still have the second phase of learning and grow. Like yesterday, when Pavitra ma'am was taking the PPT, riddles or quiz or whatever it was, we were actually in class LKG, HKG.
Yes, really.
And being able to do the thing was a great reward, and not being able to do gave us the same feeling as we used to have in our school days. So this is one thing that we can, along with this whole scene, we can live the second phase of life wonderfully well.
Yes, really, really. Good, madam. Yes.
Thank you.
Eril sir, please,
No, sir.
please talk, sir.
Yes, it's okay now.
Yes, yes. Yes, now you are very clear.
Yes, it's a great experience for me. You have told many things. I got entire thing from you, Professor. Please, in a coming day, we need more showering from you, more idea sharing, and sir, thought-provoking ideas. It's all we can apply there at our classroom, and as well as we learn. And particularly in my case, I am like a layman. I don't know anything about English literature. Simply for sake of joining with Saravanan sir, and I came to this forum, and I saw all, and I'm day by day I am seeing the great solvent, great scholars in every all sessions. So I got completely astonished about your insights, sir, about your scholastic value, your ideas. See, this is not a simple thing. So what I can say, I am learning from you all. It's a great idea, sir. Rhythmatic, coherent, it's a wonderful ideas you people are given. By your own experience, because of your, scholastic, all collections, values. I want to learn all of you, sir. All of you. Thank you. Great session, sir. Great session.
Really, thank you, Eril sir, for your comments. And I must tell you that my MPhil topic was Radhakrishnan's Religion of the Spirit and the Secularization of Indian Society. Secularization of Indian society. But it was after writing 60 pages or so, I left in the middle and joined a college for just breadwinning to support myself, to stand on my own feet. So it was still left there itself. I didn't get the opportunity to, because of teaching in so many private colleges, we are exhausted and could not continue research anymore. But this is a great opportunity to share all these things. Let us to enlighten ourselves to become better human beings, better teachers, better learners, so that our students also enjoy the immortal joy of knowledge. Because Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So, Parasparam Bhavayantaha. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, oh, my students, my devotees, they enjoy and they relish my nature. That means God's nature in the form of the universe. Ishavasyam idagam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. The Lord pervades the whole universe. When the Lord pervades the universe, what happens? What reflections? What kind of life of humility, knowledge, enlightenment, harmony, peace prevails in the society? That would be another topic that I would like to take up in the next week, whenever time permits, whenever Dr. Saravanan gives us the opportunity. Okay, right, Dr. Saravanan, please.
Sir, actually,
we need your participation continuously. Saravanan sir. Yes.
you are most welcome, sir. We don't fix the time and the title, sir. Always we are open for your that is discretion of the. We left to the discretion. We leave to the discretion of the presenters actually, and always we do this way. So you tell us, and we will be happy to have you on board, sir. Anytime.
Okay, sir. I humbly accept your gracious welcome, gesture of welcome.
Yeah, and again, for your information, our Chandrasekhar sir, Bodapatti Chandrasekhar sir, he gives 2 lectures every week. One
okay.
Sunday. So
Yeah.
You can also plan sometime as convenience. Anytime you are welcome there.
Definitely. I am Surya Chandrasekhar. My full name is Surya Chandrasekhar Kotari.
Wow.
Surya Chandrasekhar Kotari.
Yes, sir. Wonderful name, sir. Yeah.
Sir, my full name is Chandrasekhar Madhavarao.
Very good.
Great. See, sir, both ideas, both great scholars we have got now. It's a precious, we cannot measure the value. It's an invaluable, personality. You please, our humble request is, please, sir, come and give us a daily lecture. Come and give us, whenever time permits you, please visit us, sir.
Sure. Surely. It's a great pleasure.
We need both of you, sir.
Definitely.
Yes, both of you.
Yes, both. Professor Podapati is a giant in his own way, and all other luminaries. Yesterday, Dr. Pavitra, Dr. Rati, what great presentations you see from
great people, sir. All great people.
Robin Sharma and others. Wonderful. Great job it is being done by the most brilliant Dr. Saravanan is the main organizer, I suppose. Wonderful thing.
He's a God-gifted child.
Yes.
He's a
God-made child.
do miracles, sir, in the world.
Yes.
Saravanan is, I personally tell him, Saravanan is a God-made child. God-made personality, humble human personality. What is it called? Great human being.
Good. Yes. Yeah. So we have to proceed for another session, it seems. Next session.
Thank you very much, sir. And again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the elite and learned colleagues for their wonderful, interesting participation. As well as I would like to register my heartfelt and sincere thanks to our Chandrasekhar sir, who was graciously agreed to do the first presentation of the day. Hats off to you, sir. And
thank you so much.
Patronage as well as blessings and your august presence in the days to come as well to this Velta forum. Thank you, sir. Hearty congratulations, sir.
Yeah. It's great pleasure to be on this forum.
I also take this opportunity to register my sincere and heartfelt thanks to Dr. Karnanidhi sir and Chandrasekhar Bodapatti sir for giving the wonderful lead in bringing our Chandrasekhar sir, Surya Chandrasekhar sir to this Velta forum, and we remain ever grateful to you sir, you people. Yeah, amazing. And we will have a break for another 10 minutes. 10:45, we will start the next session.
Yeah.
Okay, Professor. Okay, sir.
Everyone.
Dr. Sarvananji, so all the talks are recorded, huh?
Everything is, sir, you are recorded, sir. Everything is recorded.
Okay. So you please send me the recording so that my enlightened friends.
It is available on YouTube, sir. I will share the link to you, YouTube link.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir.
That credit goes to Valli Madam. She is the Vice President of Velta Forum. She
Very good.
Madam service is priceless. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful.
Women's College, Bargur, Krishnagiri, Tamil Nadu, and
Good.
all this technical support, and it's really amazing to have such a unconditional love and support from Madam to this Velta Forum. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank
When
you.
the time comes, I will visit some of your colleges.
Sure, sir. Most welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. We will also in turn reciprocate, sir. Whenever you
Yes.
in the way of let's say guest lectures, otherwise any talk.
Talk or one day workshop or two-day national seminar like that.
Please, sir. We will. You plan accordingly, no, sir. We will reciprocate, sir. It's win.
Surely.
Certainly, sir. Thank you.
Right.
Right, sir.
Let us have a bio break for another couple of minutes, and 10:45. Let us start the next session. Thank you.
Sir,
Okay.
Saranan, sir, I will end the streaming for 10 minutes. Later,
Please, ma'am.
we will go.
After that, we will start, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Very great.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Once again, our sincere and heartfelt thanks.